경복궁 앞에서 택시를 탔다. 택시 안에서 신나는 음악이 나왔는데 택시 기사 아저씨가 이 노래 너무 좋지요 하고 물으시기에 모른다고 했더니 너무 놀라시면서 한국에 사는 사람 아니신가 봐요 하시길래 교포라고 말씀드렸다. 이런저런 이야기를 나누었다. 아저씨는 나보고 한국말을 너무 잘해서 한국에 사는 사람인 줄 알았다고 칭찬해 주셨다. 아저씨도 너무 친절하고 좋았고 나도 왠지 기분 좋아지는 추억이다. There are two cities right next to each other, like 20 minutes away, but in Palos Verdes, that's where I grew up from like 0 to 10, and then I moved to Torrance when I was 10. Hello! I got you guys mochi donuts! PV is known to be like a rich neighborhood, and then Torrance not so much, but I'm so grateful to have grown up in Torrance. So my legal name is a Korean name, which is Sujong, which means crystal, and that's how they derived Christina. But I hated it. I hated on the first day of school raising my hand and be like, oh, I actually go by Christina. I mean, I wish I grew up now when like Squid Game, BTS, you know, they're so popular in American culture right now and it's cool to be Korean, whereas I kind of had to figure that out for myself. So my dad was a professional athlete, so he traveled a lot with Taekwondo. He's a 2-time world champion. My dad had a building in downtown, and this is a banner of him on the side of the building. I feel like in a traditional Korean American household, academics comes first, but my parents really stressed like well-roundedness. So I took art classes when I was younger. I did t-ball, basketball, soccer. So my first camera was a Canon D60, but it was my brother's old camera and he just had it laying around. He's 12 years older and he kind of just gave it up. I inherited it essentially and I just taught myself. Probably the biggest print that I've ever made.
Good for you, girl.
So the summer I graduated high school, my dad took me to Korea and we were there for like 2.5 months. I saved up money. That's where I bought my first film camera, which is a Contax T3. That was the start of my love for film photography. Like I was in the street photographer mindset, so it was really just like whatever I saw that was interesting. I look at those photos now, like, because I've been going through them recently to make this collection, and they've just brought back so many memories. I really just want whoever sees my work, I just want to take them on this journey with me. Like me being a Korean American going to Seoul and experiencing that with me. I had a huge identity crisis, like middle school, high school, but I think it's when I went to college I started realizing how cool it is to be Korean, or just to be myself. Months ago, I received an Instagram DM from a stranger, and she was just like, how did you get to where you are now? Like she was just like so inspired by me and I didn't know why, but she's like, there's no one else like in the space that looks like us, because I think she was another Korean girl, and if any part of my art can speak to one person that looks like me, like I'm so happy.